develop their offline payment strategy. So I'm currently working on a product called Terminal. And this product is basically how can we make the experience of one person paying another in person the best that we can imagine. Hi, my name is Temi Giwa and I'm a senior product manager at Paystack, an online financial services company that helps small, medium, and enterprise businesses accept payments online. It's hard to answer that question without giving a little bit of context. So I'm the child of entrepreneurs. My parents run their own business, and very early in life, my dad loved computers and he wrote the software for his own company. So very early, he introduced us to computers and programming, and it was something that I kind of just liked. I liked tech. Not necessarily that I wrote code, but I just liked computers. We had games on it. It was fun for us as kids. So that kind of really always set me up to be somewhere, do something with computers, even though I was never really sure what. So when it was time to go to university, I ended up studying computer science. And then I learned to actually code, and I really enjoyed it. When I moved back to Nigeria, I did my NYSC at Chevron as an application developer for them, and then I ended up staying there as a contractor for about 4 years. And I realized that I really, really like solving problems. And then one day, as part of my trying to get back into the space of Nigeria, I went for a hackathon. And a hackathon, if you don't know, is just an environment where they give you a limited set of time and you're supposed to build something really, really quickly. It doesn't matter if it's done well, it just has to be done. And I went in and I had a bunch of ideas and I pitched my idea, and then people said they wanted to work on it with me, and we spent the weekend just 48 hours just building something, and it was really great. And that kind of helped me realize through the help of one of my mentors, truthful. He was formerly the CTO of Konga, now he runs his own company, and he pointed out to me he thought I would be a good fit for product management. And that's when I kind of realized even though I know how to develop, I actually don't care about a single line of code. I just want problems to be solved, and I like solving user problems. So that kind of journey kind of pushed me into a world where I wanted to learn more about tech. I wanted to learn how not just to build things and write code, but to build products completely. Not just okay, it looks nice as a website, but how do you sell it? How do you grow it? How do you scale it? And that has kind of helped me grow throughout my career. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people just make themselves accessible to me when I have questions or concerns. So over the course of my journey, every time I wanted to make a career switch, there always seemed to be someone that I could reach out to and talk to and say, hey, I've never done this before. Do you think I would be a good fit? What do you guys do in this department? And that's kind of how my career has progressed till now. I think one of the things that was hardest for me to understand was why people would think that I couldn't do things, or why they thought I could do other things just because I am female. So one of the things that really I got into a lot of trouble during my NYSC is that coppers, especially the female coppers, were known for bringing tea and delivering newspapers, and I was I did not go to school for 4 years. I don't even know how to make the tea you like the way you like it. And you hire people for this. So why do you think I should do it as well? And so literally I just would sit in my boss's office from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and just annoy him until he gave me work that I wanted to do. So I think that's one of the things that is very difficult for women. Is luckily I came from a background where my parents never assigned us gender-specific roles. We were cleaning and mopping, but we were also inside the generator house. We were also climbing trees and doing both sides of the spectrum. So it never occurred to me that there were girl things and boy things. But that's not true for a lot of people. And I see, you ask if it's still relevant today, and I think it very much is, because we still very much tell our children that, oh no, this is for girls, or oh no, this is for boys, or no, please, I don't want you to do this because who marry you because you're if you're doing engineering, it's just it comes from a place of love, but it can be very hard when you now want to step away from it, especially as a woman, because women are like traditionally told to be quiet. When you need to step out, it can be very difficult. I think the biggest mistake that women make is thinking or believing that they can't be feminine and be in tech. Like, you can still very much do the things you want to do. Like, you can dress the way you want, you can think the way you want, you can speak the way you want. Your voice can be heard. You don't have to conform to any particular like standard, either internal or external. Like, and then I think the second thing is there's this idea that, oh, I don't know enough and I'm shy. The thing I have learned in my almost 15 years in tech now is that we all don't know what we're doing and we're all figuring out as we go. Like, I talk to founders who are building, like, even if you look at Paystack, before Paystack, no one had built a system that was processing like 1 billion transactions a day, or very few people in the world have. They certainly haven't done it. Shola and Ezra, the founders, hadn't done it, but they figured it out. So I would say, as women, be more willing to be the first person to do something. Don't doubt yourself so much and try. The worst that will happen is that you won't be able to figure out, and then at least you'll say you've tried. In general, like youths in general, struggle against things, but it tends to impact women more. So, for example, a lot of women don't have access to finance to say, oh yes, I'll go and start your own business, but like, where am I going to get the money? I think one of the things, and then there's a skill aspect as well, because we don't train women in these particular fields, they often don't know what to do. I think it's very important for women to research. The internet is becoming so much cheaper and so much more accessible. Whenever you have an idea or you want to challenge something, just go on YouTube. Like, literally the entire human knowledge in the world, somebody somewhere is making a YouTube video about it. Go on YouTube, go on Google, go on Wikipedia, just read to your heart's content. There are so many people who are self-taught. Some of the best developers I know are self-taught. Some of the best product managers I know, the best designers, the best, pretty much any area in tech, some of the best people in it are all self-taught. So if you're looking to start something or start a new career, start your own business, start anything, I would say take the time to just soak yourself in that knowledge, and you will start to see people who have done it with less than you, and you can copy that model. I don't even think women need degrees. It's 2022. Especially tech more than any other place, like Paystack doesn't require you to have a degree to get a job in Paystack. So many people are realizing that the best people who do this are people who learned it for themselves. Half the people I know who are in tech studied things like microbiology, literature, finance. Like, you don't need a degree so much anymore. But to your question as to what kind of other skills, one of the things that I think is really important is learning how to package and sell yourself. I see too many people today who are not able to communicate their value to others in a way that would either allow them to demand a good salary or get paid enough. And I'll give an example of like a designer. A lot of times you talk to designers today, like, okay, how much is it going to cost me? And they'll say, what's your budget? No, you should know intrinsically how much your time is worth. You understand how much effort it takes to do a certain piece of work. If you're designing a mobile app, for example, that has 20 screens, you know it's going to take you 1 day or 3 days or 5 days or 20 days. One of the most important things I learned in KPMG was how to see my time in blocks of hours and charge appropriately. And so whenever someone asks me for a contract, a salary, or whatever it is, I can take it down to an hourly rate and say, is this worth my time? And then I can figure out, okay, how long is this going to take? And say, this is the amount I'm going to charge for this. And if they don't want to pay that, then the project isn't worth my time and experience. And a lot of people feel like, oh, you lose out on deals, but really you only lose out on the deals you don't want. if anybody's going to price you like tomatoes, trust me, I'm not going to enjoy that project at all. I think the most important thing is to first be truthful with yourself. What skills do you have and what skills do you lack? So for example, if you want to work in tech and you want to work in financial services, for example, Paystack, Flutterwave, Cash, Luno, all these types of companies, and you don't have any payments experience at all, acknowledge that. I'm not saying that you can't get in, I'm just saying that acknowledge that, go start learning about it. Think of, am I going to take a step back, and maybe take a pay cut so that I can work for these companies? Or am I going to go ahead and maybe take an online course to find out about the payments ecosystem so I can speak intelligently about it? Am I going to actually just sidetrack and go through another aspect? So one of the very popular and useful ways to get into tech is through the ancillary type of things that every business needs. So for example, you may do customer experience, user ops, you may do finance if you have that kind of background, you may do design if you have that kind of background. I would say if you want to get into tech and that is your goal, don't let anything stop you and do what you must, even if it means taking a pay cut. Because at the end of the day, you'll get there. Everyone is going to tell you don't give up. You shouldn't give up. But I think it's more important to go back and analyze why that was your dream in the first place, what triggered it, what motivated you to have that dream. It's okay to change what your dream is if the reality isn't true anymore. Maybe you said you wanted to be a coal miner in 2008 when you were a kid. In 2022, that's not as relevant because people are switching to non-coal sources of power. It's okay for your dream to change. You just have to be very sure about what it is and why you have it. So if you're feeling like giving up, I would say remember why you had that dream, and often remember why will ignite a new sense of passion in you a little bit further. Hi, my name is Temi and this is Jobberman.